Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody out there in here. I am Kwame Nakomi, and welcome back to Kwame Nakomi World, everybody. Hey, I'm back to give y'all my reaction to game one of the preseason between the Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. I watched it and it was a hot mess, guys. I mean, I was excited to see some of the things that happened, but at the same time, all I could do was just shake my head through most of it. But before we get into it, guys, please go ahead, spike that like button, subscribe, put on the notification bell so you know when I come through with new content just like this live right here, guys. Please go ahead and leave a comment also. I would love to get back to you guys. And please, go ahead and like and share with your friends. I'm going to be coming through with some really good content throughout this whole entire season. But today we're going to talk about the travesty, deficiencies of the Cleveland Browns, guys. I am, like I said, of course, I am rooting for the Cleveland Browns this year. Had to come through with the 12 jersey. I haven't got my 2 jersey just yet. You know, I ain't living it up. Too on the high horse just yet. So I gotta wait a little bit till I got the disposable income to go ahead and get the new jersey. But I'm gonna come through with it sooner or later because I support my boy double S, man. SS number 2. I'm always supporting him. So I was excited to see when he got in, but of course I was watching it from the beginning in the first half when Deshaun Watson got himself in there. He got the start, came out, and I mean, hey, I can show y'all some highlights basically, but he came out and it just looked like exactly what I was saying in the previews, in my preview episode. I figured as much that he was going to be indecisive about whether or not he was going to commit to what letting plays progress and was gonna basically go into his bag and try to run. You know what I mean? So the passes that he did do, he actually had a quote unquote decent box score yesterday. He was 11 to 15, with 126 passing yards, average of 8.4 passing yards for all of his passes, no interceptions, no touchdowns, but he did get sacked one time and he dropped a horrible fumble that got turned over. It was recovered by the Bears, apologize. But he didn't do much of anything besides one thing that he did was was handoff to Concepcion, who ran it in for a touchdown. And Concepcion had himself a game. He showed that he was definitely a ticket. I mean, but that's why, hey, this year going into fantasy football, I'm thinking to myself like, I want to definitely pick up one of them, but I don't know if I should pick up Boston to Concepcion. Boston looked like he's going to be that number 1 target when it comes down to throwing downfield, but Concepcion looked like he's going to be everywhere, man. He's going to be all over the whole entire field, man. He's running back. He ran back a kickoff, a punt return. Actually, that was a kickoff return. He ran back a kickoff return, and it was a thing of beauty for a nice 30 yards. He put on the Jets, and it wasn't for the fact that
that was the one that inspired
they tripped him up.
Really fun 2025.
Deshaun Watson running.
We'll see what this penalty marker is about. Alex Kemp, veteran official.
First down. Titus Howard,
ran for a first down.
Trade from Houston. Spent 7 years with the Texans, signed an extension with Cleveland. You see,
staring down where he's going to go tuck run. I mean, that's all he was doing. I mean, and they was protecting him for a good amount of time, but it just looked like he was not looking to do much of anything.
Watson
except for
does, and
little dump
delivers over the middle to the
little dump offs
here
and there, little dump offs here and there.
And, he plays with that.
Turn his volume down a little bit, man. But yeah, basically it looked like he was just looking to, dump it off whenever he could, and tuck and run when he could. He ran for let me see, Deshaun Watson he only ran for 4 yards. I mean, he was trying to stay in the pocket. My bad. I'm gonna basically take that back. He actually stayed in the pocket, but he had a clean game, but it was obvious that he wasn't trying to look down far. That was one pass to Denzel Boston when Denzel Boston was in with the ones. Denzel Boston had That was a 15-yard pass. Jared Judy had two for 18. One was 14 yards, one was 15 yards. Concepcion, his furthest pass was 11 yards. You know what I mean? So those are basically the ones that were in with Deshaun Watson out there. And let me see. This is yep, he had some dump offs here and there. Threw one to Fanning. Let me see how much Fanning had. Fanning had, that wasn't even, nope, Fanning didn't even have a reception. I guess they ruled that an incomplete pass, basically. But and Mr. Schmidt, Andre Schmidt had hit a 50-yarder, guys, a 50-yarder. So I'm glad to actually see that Schmitty was in there, basically giving what he could to give a good to put the three up. I'm telling you right now, actually during the second half when Shedeur Sanders was in and he marched that ball all the way down the field. I personally felt like it was a crime that Monken didn't go for 3 on that instead of basically going for 4. I mean, I get it. You're down there, but you already had the lead. Why didn't you just go for 4 on that? Yeah. Cleveland was up 10. It was tied 10-10. And Shedeur marched it all the way down the field. He could have basically put them up 13-10. And unfortunately, Monken decided to go for it on 4th down, and it was going nowhere. Why was it going nowhere? Because of the fact that the second team offensive line, it looks like the first team offensive line, they were a little rusty, but at the same time, the second team offensive line, they couldn't hold back a cold. I mean, it was like they were nothing compared to what the pass rush that the Bears second team was basically sending out there. The run game was pretty much non-existent for the first team running backs or the second team running backs. Nobody could run the ball. Nobody could progress the ball up on the ground except through the air and with the wide receivers. And that basically is the only 2 things that the Browns have going for them is their first team their first team wide receivers, their first team defense. Their first team offense is shaky, but they could get better, definitely. But after they basically got to the second team, it was anemic. It was anemic out there. They couldn't run the ball to save their lives. And it looked really, really nasty out there after a while. You know what I mean? And so Shedeur finally got in there during the second half. Shedeur finally got in there during the second half, basically. And hold up. Let me show y'all a little bit of that was a good grab by Concepcion. Hold on, let me go ahead and try to show that to y'all. Let me see. Go ahead and show that to y'all. Yep. He's out there just waiting for the ball. Nobody wants to pass him the ball. He's just like open. He's like, I'm wide open. Couldn't run the ball. Couldn't get it to the first down. Finally, decides to basically go ahead and open it up a little bit on the third down conversion. He backs up a million miles, and he converts to Concepcion on the sidelines. Then they decide to go back to Concepcion. Right then, I was just like, okay, I mean, I know it's not the first team offense that was in there for the Bears, but at the same time, I was just like, hey, the Bears defense didn't look that good. Either that or the offense was or I would say the Browns defense was definitely doing the damn thing there. But there goes Concepcion. Keeps his balance and catches the pylon with his hand. Very nice for Concepcion, basically. He's definitely going to be a weapon for us going through. I mean, he runs back, returns. I mean, that's awesome to have somebody who can run back, returns, and be an all around just demon in the wide receiving room. Also, could basically get points on the board through rushing on the ground with the reverse that he basically took. I mean, hey, it was definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the first team rep with Shedeur Sanders, who actually looks down the field. You know what I mean? So let me see if I can get to the second quarter or second half there, really, rather. Let me see. This only has the first half. Come on, son. I'm gonna have to go look for the other half, for the second half, man. This is not even good. What's the name? I thought it's my bad. I was looking for some some highlights that basically I could show. Obviously, I would have the full highlights if I had the NFL one, but you can't show that. They're not gonna let that. They're not gonna let that slide. They was not gonna let that slide. But anyway, I'm sure many of you guys have seen it. Shedeur Sanders came out firing immediately. He hit Gage Larvidan with a really nice pass. So it was his first pass right out the gate in the second quarter, and then hit Luke Floria, which I'm so happy to have Luke Floria back again. He basically pulled his hamstring in Shedeur's first preseason game last year, catching a beautiful pass, one-handed pass to what's the name, to one-handed catch from Shedeur down the sidelines, but he pulled up. So I'm glad that they kept him and he's back playing with the Browns. I hope that he's not relegated to the practice team. I hope that he actually makes the 53 man roster, because he's a good wide receiver to have out there, basically just to have as another man in your pocket, because you never know who could get hurt. But I'll say this: our wide receiver room is stacked, absolutely stacked. We have Gage Larvidan, who's a good guy to have there. Luke Floria, another good guy to have there. An absolute stud in KC Concepcion. Jerry Jeudy, you're gonna lose your spot, baby. You're gonna lose your job. Boston, definitely a man to have. Isaiah Bond, definitely a man to have out there, man. And you have and of course, not to mention my man Harold Fanning. I mean, the wide receiver room is where we definitely are not lacking at all. From the top to bottom, we have a great wide receiver room. Our quarterback room is going to go basically. Don't get me wrong, Shedeur definitely has some things to clean up as far as this decision making, as far as timing and everything like that. But that stuff that's basically coming. I saw him make great decisions. He made them quick. He found his receivers during that second half. He found his receivers. It's just that they lost momentum when they went to the run game, when they got down in the red zone, and the red zone run game failed them. Their running backs, I don't know what's going on. Quinshawn Judkins only had, let me see something. Quinshawn Judkins only had 4 carries for 9 yards. That's ugly. His longest was 6. Concepcion had the 14. That was his 14. That was his 14 yard rush for the touchdown. Nobody else had anything more than Davin Booth, who is who knows what. Who knows what? Basically, he probably had that during the last quarter with Dylan Gabriel. He had 53 yards rushing, man. But I mean, it was just really, really ugly for all around. Even Dylan Sampson only had 6 yards rushing. Even though they used Dylan Sampson a little bit more in the passing game, he had 43 yards receiving in the game. So obviously they relegated Dylan Sampson to being just nothing more than a receiving running back. But we need another running back, guys. I mean, either our offensive line is not using the kind of force that they need to use, or they don't want to, overexert themselves, or basically, maybe they just didn't do too much aside from the first half with Deshaun Watson, basically. But I think that definitely is something. And then furthermore, the defensive second teams. I don't know how much of the defense our defensive players played. I mean, let me see something. Did Quincy Williams play? He had one. He had one tackle. Let me see. Manuel Warren, McNeil Warren. He had 3 tackles, 4 solo. Four tackles, 3 solo. Let me see. Definitely, I don't think Carson Schlesinger played at all. Mason Graham, he was there, but he didn't really do too much. He was basically just he had one quarterback hit. I don't even think that what's the dude's name? I think his name is Reese. Is that the name of our new guy that we got in the trade back from in the trade back for the trade back with the Rams? I don't think he even played. So I think that we had a lot. It basically was mostly our second team defense that was out there, and they couldn't stop a cold. And now that basically is very worrisome when it comes down to the actual season, because if one guy gets hurt and injuries do happen, it's gonna get ugly real quick. It's gonna get real ugly real quick. And so, but Shedeur Sanders, he's dealt with bad O-lines his whole entire life. He came out, he had 2 great passes down the field, got to the red zone, couldn't convert, came back again on his second timeout, and unfortunately he saw a guy. The guy was wide open, but he said that the ball basically slipped. He let it slip. He said that the ball didn't feel right, and I believe him. That's what he said. He would, I don't think that he would front if he said that he missed. If he said he missed it, if he missed it, I feel like he wouldn't lie and say that he missed. He said that basically the ball sailed on him, and that's exactly what it looked like, because he's a very accurate quarterback. You haven't seen a lot of those crazy balls. The ball actually looked good passing, but there was nobody home. Wherever he was aiming, there was nobody home. So basically the ball basically slipped out of his hand. He said the ball felt a little weird. He even said in the post game that basically that that Dylan Gabriel also said, because Dylan Gabriel also threw a interception, and he said also that that the ball felt sandy. That's what he said. The ball felt sandy. So I don't know exactly what that meant exactly. I guess that's quarterback speak for it didn't feel good. But I take them at their word that they're good enough quarterbacks that, I'll believe them if that's what they say. You know what I mean? But here's a little bit, after getting our heads beat in basically by the Bears, 34-10, the Coach Monken basically came back to the press conference and, sounded like he was in good spirits. Let's hear what he has to say.
All right. Man, that was a lot of fun. That was getting out there with our guys.
That was a lot of fun.
Watching them play, all the fruits of their labor from the spring and then camp, watching our guys compete. Obviously, not the result you want. I don't care. I mean, you're playing to win. At the end of the day, we didn't do that. We didn't finish the game, didn't play well in the second half, really on either side of the ball. But I do believe that the season is a marathon. That marathon starts in Jacksonville. We're just still in training. Today was basically we went out there today and we were 13 miles into our training. And we'll get closer next week and we'll get closer the week after. There's a lot to clean up. There is coaching and playing. So again, frustrating at certain levels, but certainly you can't turn the ball over 3 times. You certainly can't do that.
Yeah, basically, Deshaun had a fumble for a loss. Shedeur threw an interception for a loss. That was obviously intercepted, and Dylan also threw an interception. So basically, all 3 quarterbacks had a turnover. And obviously, you can't win like that. Whether it's 1 quarterback or 3 quarterbacks, 3 interceptions is a bad day, no matter where you are. You know what I mean? So, but I also found it interesting listening to him when he said that basically also coaching had might have had a something to do with it, where obviously, Deshaun Watson, he started to throw, 10, to throw. He wasn't just doing, 3 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. He would throw 10 yards, 10 yards also, you know what I mean? And obviously he didn't tuck and run that much during the game, but that might have been, the game plan that they basically assigned him, you know what I mean? And Shedeur Sanders, I'm sure he did the calls. He perform the calls, the plays that they called for him to play, you know what I mean? And so if that's what they want him to run, that's what they want him to run, you know what I mean? So if maybe they wanted him to open up a little bit more, with the throws basically. And obviously I feel like he's a little bit more able to open up with the throws. I don't think that they would have, put a leash on Deshaun Watson if he was able to make those throws down the field. But honestly, I don't think that he's shown that he's had that ability that much during the training camp. You know what I mean? So let's go back to coach and see what he says a little bit.
There were some things operationally that I know we can clean up, but I thought at moments we threw the ball well, and that's what we needed to see. Would we be able to throw? We're going to be able to run the football. So there were certain things that we wanted to at least keep it simple today with, but I wanted to see how we'd be being able to throw it, and I thought our quarterbacks.
I disagree about running the football part, though.
How did you think Deshaun Watson did in his half of football?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it was so cool to watch him play. I mean, I get all of the frustration by fans, himself, but for him to come back and work like he did is an unbelievable credit to him. And then to go out there, he was having fun today. And that is so cool. And I thought he really functioned at a high level. Certainly, we don't want to be taking timeouts. We sure as heck can't take delay of games, okay? But it was fun watching him play and watching us put the next step forward and see where we're at.
Todd, was the plan, so it seemed like he started with nice, easy throws. Was the plan sort of let him get out there and kind of get into a rhythm, not put, maybe too much on his plate early on with the game plan?
See, sure. And we had some other things called and they got us out of it. I mean, again, we were trying to stay as simple as we can, but yet give the quarterbacks opportunities to play and to function. And, we didn't game plan for Chicago. We certainly wanted to run the things that our quarterbacks felt comfortable with and where we were at. And we're certainly going to build off that moving forward.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing. Then basically, the way that they at least in this game, being a preseason game, they're not playing. I mean, of course, you would want to win regardless of what, basically, but they wanted to get their quarterback's feet wet. So they ran plays that their quarterbacks feel comfortable with, you know what I mean? So Deshaun Watson feels good, I guess, or he functions best with those short passes and then basically options to run when he has the opportunity. So he decided to stay back there. And plus he had the first team offensive line with him. So he probably felt more comfortable to stay behind the offensive line rather than, put his wheels on and get out there with the skates. You know what I mean?
But it was fun watching him again operate, give him some completions, and get his feet wet a little bit.
Like he had his hand and forearm checked a little bit after that one hit on the
both interceptions. We had when we practice against Buffalo, we will give both of the quarterbacks opportunities with the ones against the Bills. Shedeur will start against the Bills. Deshaun will play in the third quarter, and Dylan play in the fourth.
All right, that's what this is. He said it. Basically, he's going to have Deshaun and Shedeur practice against the Bills when they have the shared team practices, and then Shedeur should get the start against the Bills. All right, so that's what he's saying. I'm
So
taking that to the bank.
Todd, on the interception Shedeur threw, was that just an overthrow, or was there?
I'll have to see it. I'll have to see if there was a little push that got in his face. Looked like we had a clear out with a dagger concept, and looked like he was open. Looked like the ball sailed a little bit on him.
That's basically what it is.
A little bit like what happened with Dylan.
Yeah.
I really, again, the positive thing is they were both in the right place.
Right.
I believe that. Again, I'll have to see the film, but I believe they were in the right spot. Both interceptions. We had Gage on the one from Dylan, just let it sail.
Right. Basically, you know, both of those players that they were aiming at were open, but both balls just sailed on those quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna hold that against Shedeur or Dylan during this time. Basically, I am gonna hold my complaints until another time so I can see it in a little bit more clearly. You know what I mean? And I feel like they actually both did very well. Well, no, Dylan didn't do too well. I mean, he was what was Dylan? Dylan was 5 of 8. Not too bad. He had averaged
What's going on?
2
Seems
yards
a
per
little empty
pass. So,
today.
but we're gonna
So
see.
we lost.
Here's
Is that what
Shedeur.
it is? Oh, okay. That's love. That's love. Okay. Makes sense.
Well, what was it like for you just to be back out there after the offseason?
I love how he looks carefree out there, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Being out there was fun for sure. Being able to see the game was truly amazing. From like just the preparation and everything, I was so excited.
How did it feel to start off with 2 big passes to Gage and to Luke and just to kind of get rolling right away?
I mean, I don't really get excited. I don't get excited about the big plays and that stuff no more because it's like it's playing chess. It's like if you do this, we're gonna do that. So it's just the right move in the right time. It was the right play call in the right time, and I was super excited. I was super excited about play call and everything, and that we executed it, and all of our players was thinking the same thing at the same time.
How do you think things went just from an operational standpoint, the huddle, talking with Coach Monk and things like that?
I was early on. I would say the operation wise, it was definitely a little faster in the game. So we definitely had good communication in the huddle, talking about everything, and just being able to step out the huddle, when the play calls can come, so there's no miscommunication like between the line on what they hear and what I say, anything. So that was exciting to be able to get that, and now the coach has been emphasizing that. Now it's kind of like it wasn't as loud, so be able to understand it a little bit more. But what they're saying,
don't get loud in Cleveland.
Were you happy to be able to kind of get your feet wet a little bit before you go into your start next week against the Bills?
Oh no, my feet get wet every day at practice.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Hey, man.
Honestly,
hey, man.
To me,
it's bullets everywhere, every single day, man. Out there and in here.
Back room and just talking ball and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I was able to unlock another point of view and be able to see things a little different.
My feet get wet every single day.
And being able to get those different point of views from everybody in the quarterback room that has experience, it was great.
What did you see on the interception?
What I see, the right read, just slipped.
There it is.
The right read, it just slipped. So that's what makes me be mad a little bit because of it. But I don't, any decision I make, I know it's the right decision. I just didn't execute the decision, but the right decision was made. So every day I look and I see about decision making, like how's my decisions I'm making, and that's how I grade myself off of. Obviously, turn the ball over and all that stuff is not great, and it won't survive a long time in the league doing that. But as long as my eyes and my feet and everything was in the right place, being able to execute it just may happen. So I look at the positive of things. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm able to come up here and talk to y'all. So, I can't be that down.
You know what I mean? I feel it. The young man basically, take accountability for that. He was just like it was the right read, just like the ball just slipped out of his hand. So hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Obviously, next time he's going to try to do better. But I believe that he is definitely in the right place and the right time in his mind when it comes to the game. And he is ready for it to come when it does, man. But like I said, They have a lot more work to do outside the quarterbacks. I mean, the quarterbacks, I feel like, they're going to get more, they're going to get more acclimated and more comfortable and more settled in the offense. And Todd Monken's coaching style and his play calling style, and I'm sure both quarterbacks have the full package, understood and in their hands. And it basically just depends on what pages of that playbook the coaches decide to say, these are yours and these are his, and this basically what we're going to call. But y'all all know the whole book basically. But they're going to need the supporting cast to come along for the ride. You know what I mean? If the offensive line can't, don't get me wrong, Shedeur Sanders has been when he was in college, he had to make it work with his legs a little bit more, trying to basically, trying to move around so he don't get sacked out there waiting for a place to develop down the field. But now in the NFL, he's been trained more to stand in the pocket, but he's comfortable waiting for those hits to come. Now what I'm saying? He's not as punch drunk or hears those footsteps like Deshaun Watson has, because he's gotten hurt so many times. You know what I mean? Once you go through so many injuries, you're afraid of that next injury that's going to basically possibly end your career. You know what I mean? Especially in Deshaun Watson's situation, anything can happen at any moment, and this could be the last one. So, but Shedeur is basically living for right now. He's not living for tomorrow. He's not living for the past. He's living for right now. So basically, he has no problem staying in the pocket and taking that shot. And that is basically this speaks to his own, bravery, his own training, his mentors. I mean, Brady would be back in that pocket, and he's obviously not looking to run. Brady was, Shedeur could escape if he needs to and get you that first down if he has to. But at the same time, he's looking and waiting for the wide receivers to do their job if he didn't already pass the ball, hand the ball off. After the ball is not being handed off, he's looking for people to make a play, to get open, to do what they have to do, and he's looking for it, and he'll take the shot and make a pass to the best available receiver down the field. That was like his like the pass I think he made to Luke Floria. He took a shot right after that, basically. But I mean, literally, as soon as he threw the ball left his hands, he took a shot in the back. But at the same time, that's the game. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're gonna do, whichever quarterback gets the start is gonna do their job to the best of their personal physical abilities. But the offensive line has to do their job. They got to give these guys at least 3 seconds, 4 seconds back there to be able to let these receivers do their job, make their cuts, make their go through their route tree. Besides that, the offensive line has to open some holes. They have to get aggressive. They have to use some physicality and open some holes for these running backs to do their job. I mean, Quinshawn was able to find some holes and get some bursts of speed. Find a window and get through. If they can't do that, then this is DOA. This entire season is DOA if they can't get the running game going, because you can't always assume that you're going to be able to have the opportunity and the position to be able to throw and get a receiver in the red zone. If you want a 2-yard line, if you want a 5-yard line, first down, maybe second down, both first and second down is probably going to be runs. I mean, there's very, very seldom do you see teams that go straight for a pass on the first down in the red zone. You know what I mean? And that's basically mostly when you really can't trust your running game. Or you've been going to the running game and it's been successful so often that they piling up against the line. And so the dudes are free in the back. That you can't count on that. So basically the run game has to be established. And definitely Todd Monken is a guy about getting the run established. He's going to have all the plays in the world to get these receivers open, but the run game has to be established or is no bueno. It's a non-starter right from the beginning. And the defense has to do better. I mean, yes, it was probably the second team, third team, and fourth team defense that was out there that let them run up the score on them, because they was keeping them at donut for a while during the beginning of that game. So hopefully that was the first team offense, and I pray that the first team defense can stay healthy all season. but they need to find some. They need to fill some spots and get some depth on both sides of the line. So that's basically how I feel. Let's go out listening to Uncle Ocho talk about this a little bit, basically.
Hey guys, it's your
tripped up, but outside of that, it is some.
John. I mean, he was in plus yards. He got sacked, fumbled the ball. The Bears recovered. Offensive line didn't seem very improved to me. Before we go to Shedeur, let's talk about Deshaun. I don't know how much you saw this game, Ocho. Yeah, Deshaun, I mean, he was level of 15, but everything would seem like it was a damn check down.
Yeah.
He didn't push the ball down the field.
No.
Did not.
Hold on. Y'all got to give Deshaun a little credit, though, for a guy who hadn't played in some quite time, Uncle Ocho. He didn't look that bad. I thought he had a few miscues in the pocket to where he was unsure if he wanted to run or throw, which he kind of got tripped up. But outside of that, I thought he made some good throws, bro. I thought he used his legs well. He didn't look that bad to me. I thought Shedeur looked good outside that moon ball he threw. That was
he sailed on it.
Yeah,
he got to drive that one. It seemed like he was trying to throw it with anticipation, and it kind of got away from him. But he needed to put some little oomph behind it so the ball don't sail. You're worried Soldier Field, so I don't know what type of wind it had. But like I said, I thought Deshaun, you level of 15, and I think people look at level of 15, but not a single ball traveled over 10 yards, Joe.
Yeah.
So that means everything is close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So you should have a nice completion percentage. Now, maybe that was what the game plan called for. Maybe they did a job and said, you know what, we want to get the ball out of Deshaun's hand. Our offensive line is not where it needs to be. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to get the ball out of his hand. Go ahead, Ocho.
I was going to say also defensively, knowing Deshaun is in there, defensively, make sure y'all keep everything in front of you. Make sure you keep everything in front of you. So it was forcing anything that may have been deep or over 12 or 15 yards. You know, defensively, they made sure, hey, it's not happening. Either he's going to check it down or he's going to hit something short.
Well, consider the offensive line that he got. They ain't got to wait long. Say, hey, don't worry about anything. We're going to get there before they cut. They can't block.
Hey, well, hold up, though. Concepcion, he looked good out there, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, that boy making some plays.
I think he's going to be really special.
Ooh,
I think he has an opportunity to be really, really good, Joe. I do.
He looked good. I'm talking about out the backfield and catching the ball. I'm saying, like, he a Swiss Army knife that I think the Browns going to be able to use, man. He going to help them out a lot.
And he tough.
Yeah.
He tough. I like it. Look, like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Was this what the offense? Because it seems to me like the one thing we know about Shedeur is going to try to push the ball down the field because that's where the big plays come from.
Yeah.
The likelihood of you dumping the ball down on a 5-yard route and the guy shaking the whole defense and getting to the house, that ain't very likely.
No.
Deshaun, so basically maybe he just took what the defense gave him. He didn't want to do anything spectacular. There was no throws to be made down the field. He got the ball out of his hand. The offensive line, they're going to have to improve greatly. Because if you think you can nickel and dime your way down the field consistently, down in and down out, game in and game out, you're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
The game has never been one like that, and it's never going to be one like that.
Man, I think Deshaun, I think his problem was he didn't have a lot of patience in the pocket. Okay, Ocho versus Shedeur, he'll sit back there. You know what I mean? He'll wait for something to kind of open up a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest difference because when Shedeur got back there, his first 2 passes were deep. You know, they were nice deep.
He's looking to push it down the field.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Hey, deep pass over route.
Huh?
I say that first pass, that deep over route.
Oh, man. He looked good them first couple passes, bro. Then he had that one that just kind of sailed and got away from him. But outside of that, I don't think neither one of them really separated themselves from each other.
Yeah, I don't either.
The competition going to continue, and they just got to keep, going out there proving that they're worthy of that number one, that starting job.
And you know what else? People got to take in, and especially people in the chat that are listening, you know what you got to take into account? That the play calling might change based on the quarterback that's under center.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was saying. Basically, with the depending on the coach even said it. Basically, that they how the game turned out was that's basically how the coaches also set the games up for those specific quarterbacks at the time. So I mean, like we said, It's gonna be, I like I said, neither quarterback separated themselves. Personally, I still think that Shedeur Sanders is their best chance at winning for this season, but they have a lot of other things that they had to focus on getting right before their next game and their last game before the season actually starts. If basically, if they feel but like coach, like Shay said, no team has ever won by getting 4 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Sooner or later, there's going to be a stop. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and you're going to have to send the ball the other way. You're going to have to cut. Somebody has to get out there to be able to put their feet in the ground and drive that ball up the field and cut some yardage off the team. And then you could go 4, 10, 20, 4, 10, score. I mean, that's basically how you have to be. You can't be scared out there. And if Deshaun don't got that no more, because I mean, he used to pass it to D-Hop, but honestly, he never really had a stable of wide receivers that he basically could to stable of receivers that he could choose from to throw the ball up the field. It was mostly just basically D-Hop and the running back, or him basically running it up the field. And I mean, hey, those are great offenses, but that's just not going to be able to happen. Not on this team, at least. Not on this team. So you don't have a prime D-Hop on this team right now. I mean, KC's going to be great, but he's just a rookie. Denzel Boston's going to be great, but he's just a rookie. So you need a quarterback that's going to be able to, to feed several receivers to help the ball get down the field. And as of right now, I personally don't think that Deshaun Watson is the one to maximize our abilities. I think he has been changed to a game manager. I think that's what that Deshaun Watson is right now. I don't think that he is a prime elite quarterback. If I had to say whose abilities that I'm seeing right now is a prime elite quarterback, it's not Deshaun Watson. His name does not come to mind, basically. Who has the ability to become a prime elite quarterback? That would be Shedeur Sanders. So personally, like I said before, I think Deshaun should be the backup. Go ahead and let Shedeur be out there and let him learn in the fire under the tutelage of Todd Monken. Now that he's already has a season under his belt, he has gotten better. He has gotten faster. His reads are good. His reads are right. He just had every quarterback throws a bad ball every once in a while. So I'm not going to judge him too bad on that. I'm not going to judge Deshaun too bad on the fumble. Every quarterback every once in a while has a fumble. I mean, hell, even Shedeur had a fumble at the line, but at the same time, that ball might have hit the butt of the center a little bit. Plus, he's a backup center, so he's not the starting center. You know what I mean? So it might have been a little bit of communication, not quite sure or used to how they put that ball in Shedeur's hands, you know what I mean? So a little bit of but it happens to everybody, basically. That ball went on the floor, but thank goodness it was recovered by the Browns, and they were able to continue on with that drive. But I mean, hey, like I said, I'm looking forward to next game with Shedeur Sanders. He's going to be starting with the first team offense next week. He's going to be starting against the Bills, which is going to be week 2. Their game is going to be on the 22nd, a Saturday, and it's definitely going to be on NFL Network. It's not going to be on any of these crazy ESPN Unlimiteds or just not broadcast at all. I see Chicago and Cincinnati not even going to be broadcast. Atlanta and Indianapolis is not even going to be broadcast, probably just local. Washington and Detroit not going to be broadcast, but look at lowly Cleveland and Buffalo going to get broadcast. Why? Because they know that is going to be box office. That is probably going to be some of the biggest ratings the NFL Network has seen in a really long time. Shedeur Sanders getting the start in the first half to go ahead and play and allow himself to make mistakes mistakes or basically better or let these people shine, I'm going to be definitely there to look after it, guys. But yo, thank you so much for coming to listening to me and my thoughts for the first game of the preseason with the Browns and the Bears. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Please go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know what y'all thought about the game, what y'all thought about either of the quarterbacks or the supporting staff of the team. Please also go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. I'm inching closer and closer to 500, but I ain't there yet, baby. Please go ahead and push me over that mark. I want to get to 501. If I got 500, I want to get to 505, guys. Help me to get there, please. Go ahead and like this episode if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification button so you basically will know when I come with my next show. I might come with another show. Basically, my next show might be about the Lakers and their sale and what going on with this whole entire cluster right now that basically the Lakers are turning themselves into. I still have faith. I'm still going to be a Laker fan, but low, they basically making it hard on me. But right now, it's all about NFL. It's all about the Browns. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Please go ahead, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, be a part of your community, be a neighbor to one another. You know, say hi. It ain't nothing to wave when you basically passing by. I mean, hey, that's how they do it in the South. And when I went back up north, I started doing it when I went back up north. I mean, guys, but I'm here in the South. So basically we have to stay together. We have to be a community. We have to take care of one another. And also with doing that, we got to vote. Get out there and vote. Do your civic duties, guys. Get on the jury. Do not be afraid to do some jury duty. Basically, most jobs allow you to take some time off. It's okay. You're going to take a little, you might not get those hours, but hey, it should be covered and you're going to get a little bit of stipend too. But hey, do your civic duties, guys. Be out here for one another and each other, okay? And yourself. Take care of yourself. But always, I pray that you will always find water and shade. Peace out, people.